One of the cheapest and highest leverage ways for me to book appointments for my AI automation agency is my newsletter. And my newsletter is completely automated. Every morning, this n8n workflow will start, it will do the research with Perplexity, it will format a newsletter, it will create images for the newsletter, and it will send it off to the customer. And in these emails, we'll give away loads of free game. Perplexity will do all the research for us, and we'll send it out to business owners. And we'll also include a link to my calendar so people can book in for appointments if they want to learn more about AI or how they can implement AI to their business. For me, it takes absolutely no time. This just runs every morning, sends out the emails, and I'll get 1 or 2 bookings a day just from this. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I build my newsletter, how AI runs everything. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'll leave a link where you can download this full n8n workflow for yourself so you can start using it for your business. So the first thing we need to do is come over here to n8n. And this may look a little more complex than what it is. It's really just these nodes right here. And these ones are just copy and pasted 5 times, as this is going to create 5 images. And how this works is every morning I have a schedule set up here. And at 9 a.m. every morning when I click execute, I don't actually have to click execute because it's on a schedule. So it will automatically execute every morning. It's going to come through here, and Perplexity is going to do all of the research on the latest AI topics for business owners. And my newsletter is aimed at business owners, so we don't want to include all of the tech talk and the jargon and all of these tech words that business owners are not interested in. So I prompted this to specifically create this for business owners and how they can actually use AI. It's going to come through here then, and this is going to format the email in a neat way. And in these emails, we're going to have 5 sections. So 5 kind of different topics of AI. And we're going to create an image for 5 of them topics. So this one here is going to create 5 prompts for the images. And up here, we're going to create 5 images. So you can see here, we have image 1. It's going to create it. It's going to store it as a URL. We have image 2. It's going to do the same thing, and so on. And as you can see down here, we have 5 images. Whenever that's finished, it's going to come up here to AI, and we're going to give AI the previous email, which is the formatted one over here. We're going to give it to formatted email, and we're going to give it these 5 images and tell it to input it into the email. And as an output, we will get something like this over here. And then over here, all of the emails on my business list will receive a morning message like this every morning at 9 a.m. where I give them a breakdown on AI. And you can see here the pace of artificial intelligence is innovating, isn't slowing down. And for business leaders, the challenge has shifted from what is AI to how do we implement it safely. You can see down here, we get a bunch of images relating to the topic it is talking about. So a new era of red tape, major AI compliance deadlines hit EU and US markets. We also have another topic down here, which is the rise of machine shopper, autonomous AI agents. And the whole reason I send this out is not just to be giving out free news, but at the bottom of this, you can see as they get down to the bottom of this, there's a booking link down here, in which when they click here, it will take them through to booking to get their AI audit for their business. And this is what books me appointments. You can also include these booking links throughout the actual email. So as they're reading through maybe this part, you might include a booking link. But for us, I find that the bottom part is perfect because we're sending one of these every morning. We don't want to be overboarding people with just marketing and booking links. So we send them this free game where they can read it every morning. And as you're giving away free value, obviously we know people instinctually want to return something in the favor, so they'll usually book in for an appointment, and that's how we typically get 1 booking a day. So to get into exactly how we build this, we come over here to n8n, and we firstly need to set up this. So over here you can see we have a schedule trigger. We have set this to run every day. So the trigger interval is on days. Days between triggers is 1, and the trigger at hour is 9 a.m. So that's essentially making this trigger every morning at 9 a.m. It's pretty straightforward. You'll come up here, you look up the schedule trigger, and that's how you'll get that. The next one we have is the researcher, and every morning this is the one that's going to do the research for us. And as you can see in here, it's just a basic LLM chain, which you can get up here by clicking up here, going into AI and finding the basic LLM chain. In the basic LLM chain, we have basically just a prompt for the AI, and we say to this, you are an expert AI market analyst for a business newsletter. The audience is business, non-technical business owners. They do not care about transformer architecture or parameter counts. They only care about how does this save money, how does this make money, how does this protect my business, and will my competitors use this to beat me? Your task is to search the latest AI news from the past 7 days and select the top 5 most impactful story for business owners. And then we just give it a little more information on here on what we wanted to output. That's going to return us all of the information. As we can see over here, it will output something like this, where it gives you all of the topics on what it has found and the details on them topics. The model that we're going to use, if we come down here, I have over here Perplexity Sonar Pro Search. And Perplexity is essentially like ChatGPT, but it's specifically for researchers. So it has access to Reddit, it has access to all of the internet, and this is the most powerful one at researching. So for me, I use Sonar Pro Research. You can also change to maybe just Sonar Pro, or you can even use Sonar Deep Research, which is going to get you a lot more deeper, technical, more fulfilled knowledge on the topics that it outputs. But for me, I find Sonar Pro Research is perfectly fine. Obviously, the higher ones you use, the more expensive it can get. Then over here, connected to that, we have another LLM, and it's basically the one that's going to format the email. So over here we say, here's the research, and we give it the research from the previous Perplexity. And we say that in the prompt user message. Now then down here in the system message, we give it the prompt on how we actually wanted to format the email. Now emails, when you send them, have to be sent as HTML. If you want to do all of that stuff, like you've seen in the demo where I showed you, we have images, we have them in like a card-like neat format. In order to do that, you need to send it over as HTML, and that's why in this prompt we tell it how to write the HTML. Now, as you can see down here, it's a lot of code. Now, don't worry about this. I'm going to leave a link below, in the first link in the description, where you can jump into my community and download them for completely free, absolutely no charge. And you can download this full n8n workflow so you can start using it for yourself. But the prompt over here is, you are an expert industry analyst and a newsletter editor. Your task is to transform the provided research into high-value card-style HTML newsletter. The critical content rules is we give it some writing style. We want 2 to 3 bite-sized paragraphs for each card. The soft sell, so we want it to kind of soft sell in between these cards. At the end of the day, we are making this so we can book appointments. We're not making this for no reason. So we give it this prompt here to soft sell, to include some parts about our business within these paragraphs. And then down here we give it the HTML template. Again, you can download this below, so don't worry about this. This is basically just the style that I want to output the emails in. If you don't like that style that I created, then I would just come up here. I would go over and download this n8n template in my community. Then I would copy this and bring it over to Claude and just say, can you create a different style HTML template for my newsletter? And Claude will give you a couple of options in which you can see what they look like. Then after the HTML template, then down here we give it some final instructions, like this important part here, which is keep image placeholder strings exactly as shown. Ensure the CTA button link remains exactly at the bottom, and this is the link for my CTA, which is just my booking calendar. Do not output markdown and start directly with this right here. That just saves it from making mistakes. Now this keep image placeholder is important because at the start of each section, as we can see over here, I have an image within these cards. So you can see we have an image here, and we haven't created them images yet. So when we format this email over here in Claude, we're just going to leave it blank, the image is blank for a second, and later on we're going to fill that in. So that's why up here we give it the instructions to leave the image part of the HTML just as a placeholder, which is just image underscore placeholder. Claude is going to output that perfectly, so if you don't really understand that, you don't have to know what it means. Just give it to Claude and it will understand exactly what to do. Actually, over here, the email formatter, we are going to use Google Gemini 3, the Pro, which is the new one. So we're going to use that new Google Gemini 3 Pro, which is excellent at writing these emails and writing these HTML. And then after that, we have the image prompt generator. Now, as I said before, we've created the email template, or the email format, has all of your research in it, but we haven't created the images. So this is what we're doing over here. We're saying, here's the HTML for the email, and we're giving it that previous node, which is this one over here. And then we say down here in the system prompt, you will receive HTML newsletter content with 5 sections about AI news for business owners. Your task is to create 5 distinct image generation prompts, 1 for each section. And we tell it to output it like this in JSON. We say the image requirements, clean, minimalist, professional, business illustration style. We give it some more prompts down here, and then we say, here is a good prompt, and we give it an example. Now this is going to output 5 prompts like this, and that's where we're going to use them later. So if you see over here, it's going to output something like this. This is basically just strings, so we can't actually use these to create 5 different images. So the next node we have to use over here is an edit field. Now for the image prompt generator, the model we are going to use is Claude Sonnet 4.5. seems to be the best one to use. I've used a couple of these. Claude seems to be the best. But after we get the output, which is this right here, just one big block of text, I'm going to take it, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to get an edit fields node. So I'm going to look up here, over here, look up edit fields. I'm going to bring that, take that down, and I'm going to take this image prompt generator, the previous node that we were just using. I'll drop that in here, and I'll tell it to turn this into an object. And when we tell that to turn this into an object, we'll get an output like this over here, which is splits up each prompt into a variable that we can use later. So as you can see here, I can use this later, I can use this in a different node, and I can use these all separately. Whereas in the previous node, it just outputs as basically a string of JSON. So we can't use these on their own. We would have to basically use this full text prompt in the image generator, which we don't want, as we're going to create one image at a time. Now, after we have these outputs, we are basically nearly finished. The next thing we need to do is we just need to create 5 versions of this. As you can see here, we have one version here, we have the second version over here, and basically this is just copy and paste 5 times. So when you create this first one, you'll press Control C and Control V, and you'll just get the second one over here. So what this is going to be is we're going to generate an image. We're going to use Gemini to generate these images. Now to do that, we're going to come up here and we're going to look up Gemini, Google Gemini over here, and we are going to select this down here, which is generate an image. Now in this image, we're just going to give it the prompt. So you're going to obviously connect your account by just signing into Google. The resource is image, operation is generate an image, and we are going to use the new 2.5 Flash image generation model. And the prompt is just going to be image 1 over here from that previous node that we used to split up each of the sections. We're going to drag over image number 1, and we're going to drop that in here. Now an important part is the output over here. So as you can see over here, I have put output field, and you will get that if you come down here to add section, you'll click put output field, and we'll just output this as data 1. So we know that this is going to be image number 1. We can click save on that. And the next node we are going to have to use is extract file. So to do that, I'm going to come over here, look up extract file. I'm going to select this, come over and choose extract move file to base 64 string. So we're going to select this one down here, which is move file, and in here we are going to select again the image number 1 from over here that we just created. Now in here it's going to ask us for an input binary field. Now as you can see in here, I just have text. It's not like a variable, or it's not JSON. It's just basically the name of this one over here. So when we were over here, we specifically gave this the output put output field, which is basically giving the output image a name. As you can see over here, when we output the image, it's going to give it the name as data 1. And if we view this image, we can see the image that it outputs. Now we need to use that in the next node. So I'm giving this a specific name, which is data 1. And over here in the extract field, I'm going to say the input binary field is data 1. And we're going to just type in, all you'll have to do is just type in data 1. And then that's automatically going to use this image over here to turn it into a base 64 string. And we need to do that so we can actually use the image, because we need to upload the image to get a URL. So to upload this image, when we get the output from this, we'll just put in data 1. It's going to output data, which is just basically this massive line of string. And we're going to give that string to a image model over here, which is going to turn it into a URL. And the image model that we're going to give it to is a place called ImgBB. If we come up here, I look up ImgBB. We come over here, you can see we can upload an image, and it will give us free hosting. So it's not anything we need to pay for. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to come up to my account, and as you can see, I'm already logged in. Once you log in, you're ready to go. You come up here to the about section, come over here to where it says API. Now you won't have to do any of this if you just download the n8n template, but to show you what to do, you'll come over here to the API section. You can see you have API key here. What we need to do is just copy and paste this. So I'm going to copy this, bring it over, and the next node, as you can see after the extract the file, is the HTTP request. So you'll come up here, look up HTTP, make a request, and you will drop in that curl that we just copied. So import curl, drop that in here, and now that will do everything for you. So it gives you the URL, it gives you the expiration, which we can get rid of. We don't want these images to expire, so we can get rid of that. And as you can see here, it asks you for your API key. So get rid of this. Come back over here and select the API key from the top of the page, copy that, bring that back over and drop that in here. And then over here, for when it asks you for the image, you can see this is the base 64 that they have as an example. We're going to get rid of that. When we get rid of that, then we need to put in the file that we've just extracted. So we'll pull that over, we'll drop that in here, and we'll just give it that image, and then we're basically ready to go. So what that's going to do is it's going to take this big long string and it's going to output URLs like this, in which we can use in our email. So as you can see here, we have URL number 1. If I go to this URL, then you can see it outputs the image. So we have a hosted image now that we can use in Gmail. That might seem complex for no reason, but the reason we have to do that is because if we're sending a lot of emails at once and we're including 5 images, Gmail is automatically going to be suspicious of your email. So if we use a URL, it massively decreases this suspicion. We could just use this binary data, but Gmail will look at it, will wonder why there's so much data coming into an email, and will most likely flag your emails as spam. So we turn them into a URL to let Gmail know that it's not like a spam link or it's not like a scam link, and then it allows us to send our emails to as many people as we want. After you create that first one, the rest of these is basically going to be the same. As you can see down here, it's the exact same, except over here, when we use the put output field, we just change this, instead of from 1, we change it to image number 2. And as you can see down here, it's the same thing. It's the exact same input, except we change it to data 3, and so on, so on. This one will be data 4, this one will be data 5. Now for the image prompts for each of these Gemini models, you can see in here we have the image prompt from number 2. So if we come down here and we come to the edit fields, you can see we have image number 2. I'll drop that in here. Over here in the third node, we have image 3. I will come back over here to the edit fields node, edit fields, and I will drop in image 3. And that's what you do for the rest of this. Over here in the extract file, we're going to again do this 5 times. And except in this one, the input binary field is going to be data 2, because that's what we're getting into it. So basically just data 2. And then it's going to be the same in all of these nodes down here, where this one will be data 3, this one will be data 4, this one will be data 5. Now over here in the HTTP, it's going to be the exact same. You're going to use your same API key, and over here you don't even have to change this. You can just copy and paste the first one, just come in here, duplicate it, and just connect it up to the rest of these. And you don't even have to change it. You don't have to add a number. It's just going to automatically know that it's going to use the previous node, the closest node to it, which will be the previous node. We can click save on that. After we create that 5 times, then we're going to come up here and we're going to make another AI node. And in this node, we are going to use it to input them images into the email format that we have. So you can see up here in the user message, I say, here is the images, and we give it image 1, image 2, image 3, image 4, and image 5. One thing I forgot to mention is over here in the HTTP node, after we create the images, you can see it will output something like this. Firstly, it will output just the normal URL of the uploaded image, but we don't want to use that because typically these images are very big. There's a lot of data in these images. A normal email will just have text, which is basically no data. It's so small that it doesn't even really count. And when you're including massive images like this, Gmail is going to wonder, why is there so much data in this email? It's going to flag you as spam. So over here in the output, you will see that it automatically outputs an image which is medium. We have medium and we have thumbnail. Thumbnail, which will basically be the smallest one, and Gmail basically won't notice this one. And you can include that, but it's going to be the least high quality. You also have over here a medium image, and this is the one that I use. This one is not as bad quality as a thumbnail. It's not too high quality where Gmail will flag it as spam. So these are the images that we are going to use, these medium images. The reason I say this is because over here, when we are inputting the images, we must make sure that we use all of the medium URL. So as you can see over here, we have image number 5. I'll come in here, I will look for the medium URL, and I will drop that in here for image number 5. Image number 4, we'll come down here to the HTTP for number 4, and I will drop in the medium URL for number 4, and so on. So you'll do that for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then over here we say here is the email HTML, and that's the first email that we created. So I'm going to come down here, scroll down here to the end, to the email formatter, and I will put in the text over here so it knows here's the email format, here's the images that you have to append to that email. We're going to use the model as Gemini 3 Pro again, and after it outputs, will output something like this, which is basically just a HTML template. We'll bring that over here and we can send it as a message. So you can see here, I have that dropped in here. So we'll drop that in here like this, and I will send it to myself first. Now, obviously over here, you can use whatever email system you are using. It might be ConvertKit, it might be Beehive, whatever email system you're using, you would put in here. But for me, I typically just send it to myself. Or if I like it, I would just copy and paste it, bring it over to ConvertKit and send it. But you can do whatever feels best for you. Now that's basically the full build done. And I'm going to run this again so we can see everything happening live. So first thing, 9 a.m, this is going to trigger. Well, over here is the research agent where it's using Perplexity. And over here we are using Gemini to format all of that research that we've done into a neat email template. Then over here, it's going to take in that email template and it's going to know what each section is about, and it's going to create an image prompt for each section. Now you can see up here, it goes up here, it gives it the image prompt for number 1, generates the image, turn it into binary and uploads it to the URL so we can get a URL. And it's going to do that for the rest of these where it creates image 3, uploads it, we get a URL, image 4, URL, image 5, URL. Now after image 5 gets uploaded, you'll see it will come up here, and now this is going to take this email that we just formatted over here. It's going to take the 5 images that I created and it's going to append them images to the 5 sections of the email. Now remember, over here we've told it to leave a placeholder for each image. When it leaves the placeholder, this is how this AI model is going to know where each image is going to go, because this one is going to leave a placeholder called image 1, it's going to leave a placeholder called image 2, image 3, image 4, image 5, and this is outputting each image, and over here we give it the access to each of them images with the name image 1, image 2, and it's going to know where to input them. After that gets created, it's going to create the email template and it's going to send it over here via email. And over here in email, you can see we get this email which it says, the pace of change has shifted from rapid to relentless, from Google completely rewriting the rules of customer acquisition to Europe fast tracking regulatory compliance. It gives us a card on Google Gemini threatens your website traffic. Gives us some details on the new Gemini 3 release. We have an Instacart, we have some more information over here, and then we have that link down here to book an AI audit. That's basically the full video. If you want to start your own AI automation agency, I'll leave a link below to where you can join my one-to-one course. If you want to just download this n8n template, then click the first link where you can join my free community. That's going to be it for this video. Leave a like or leave a comment on what you want to see next.